Okay, class, I want to review a little bit of what we've talked about and then introduce some new material. So, we've already discussed the two main subsets of T cells. These are CD4 positive T cells and CD8 positive T cells. So, every T cell is going to express a T cell receptor right here and right here, and a co-receptor shown in orange. And so this is where the CD4 gets its name, and this is the CD8. It's the co-receptor that's going to help the T cell receptor to interact with another cell. And that's what we're going to talk about here. Now, it's really important to remember that structure and function go together. So CD4 positive T cells are what we call helper cells. And CD8 positive T cells are killer cells. Now what this means is that CD8 positive T cells, right here, are going to recognize cells that have been infected by a pathogen, and CD8 T cells are going to kill the infected cells. So I'm going to change the color here and depict it in blue. Okay, this is going to be our infected cell. All right, and this is direct killing. On the other hand, CD4 positive T cells are going to help other parts of the immune system to do their jobs better. So they don't directly kill cells. They're not helping the infection in any way. They're helping the immune system. Okay, so this is really important to know because CD4s and CD8s interact with different types of cells. Okay, the types of cells that CD4 positive T cells interact with are what we call antigen presenting cells. Okay, or APCs. So this means that there has to be a different way that CD4s and CD8s interact with these cells. Both CD4s and CD8s are going to have a receptor called MHC. Okay? And MHC is going to present a peptide on its surface that's going to be recognized by the T cell receptor. Okay, so the MHC molecule here presents the peptide again, right there, and the T cell receptor interacts with it. Oh, let's do that in gray. T cell receptor interacts. All right. The CD4 positive T cells are going to interact with MHC class 2, and the CD8 positive T cells are going to interact with MHC type 1. And now these are slightly different in structure and function, but it's important to note that the cell type will express the specific MHC. So every cell in the body, to answer this question down here, what cells express MHC1? The answer here is that every cell in the body expresses MHC1. Okay? Why this is important is because the role of the CD8 positive T cell is to kill infected cells, as I mentioned before. And so every cell needs to be able to express MHC1 in order to let a killer T cell know if it's infected, so that the killer T cell can come in and do its job and destroy the cell. Okay, this is a self-check. All right, if we have an infected cell, we want to be able to destroy it. And so every cell in the body is going to have the capacity to present foreign peptide on its surface through MHC1. This is even true of professional antigen presenting cells. All right, they can have over here MHC1. However, MHC class 2 is unique to antigen presenting cells. And this is because CD4 T cells are not going to be directly killing the antigen presenting cell. Okay. Instead, they're going to be providing help to further stimulate the antigen presenting cell. The reason why these cells also express MHC1 is because if they get infected themselves, they're still going to want to get destroyed by a CD8 killer T cell. Okay, so this killer T cell could still come in and interact here if antigen presenting cells were infected. And so this leads to the second question: what is the source of the peptide? All right, CD8 positive T cells are going to be killing cells that have been infected, and so the source of the peptide is going to be cytosolic. Meaning that the pathogen, let's draw that in green. Let's say it's a viral pathogen here, okay, has infected the cell. The cell has chewed up the antigen to present it on MHC1. The same thing can happen here, and an infected antigen presenting cell can load peptide onto its MHC1, and a CD8 positive killer cell will recognize it and destroy it. On the other hand, MHC2 is going to recognize antigen that is extracellular, okay? So let's switch back to gray here, and this is extracellular. So antigen presenting cells are going to survey the environment, take up peptides, and if one of them is recognized to be foreign, it's going to present it on its surface here for CD4 cells to recognize. This will help such things as B cells to create an antibody response against free floating antigen that's maybe circulating through the body, or that hasn't infected a cell yet, or that has infected a cell and burst through and is going to infect other cells but is currently extracellular. Okay, so to fill in the rest of our chart, this would be professional antigen presenting cells. So just to reiterate, it's really important to remember that CD4 positive T cells are going to recognize MHC2 on antigen presenting cells, and they're going to help other parts of the immune system to have a better immune response. CD8 positive T cells are going to recognize MHC1 that's expressed on every cell in the body, and that will present peptide when it is infected.